Hi, everyone. My name is Valerie. I want to welcome you to 15 minutes of yoga. So I'm going to invite you to find a comfortable spot on your mat, seated in easy seated pose with your legs crossed, back nice and long, shoulders down, gaze forward. And we're going to begin by just making sure we all are feeling grounded in our space by placing our hands on the mat to feel Mother Earth beneath us. And I'm going to invite you to gently just gaze around the room, looking at for colors or for textures. And then I'm going to invite you to place your right hand on your belly. And we're going to take in 3 deep breaths, pulling those breaths down to our belly, expanding it and releasing it and expanding it and releasing it and expanding it and releasing it. Next, I'm going to invite you to place your hands either on your knees, continuing the grounding, or up for energy. Taking in 3 deep breaths again. As we begin our practice, I want to remind you that, as always, it is your practice. You listen to your edge. Be mindful of where your body is today in today's practice. What may help you are some props, blanket, blocks, or rolled up towels, or a strap. And be sure to use them at any time. So first, I'm going to invite you to lower your chin to your chest and raise your chin to the sky. Taking in a breath, lower your chin to your chest, raising your chin to the sky. Once again, taking in a breath, lower your chin to your chest and raising your chin to the sky, returning back to neutral, raising your shoulders up to your ears, lowering them down your back, pulling them forward, raising them to your ears, making sure you're taking in a deep breath and you are expelling that breath, letting that breath out as you raise them towards your ears. Breath. And once again to your ears and returning back to neutral, raising your shoulders to your ears, lowering down the front, lowering them up the back to your ears once again. And final time. And we're going to extend our arms straight from our shoulders. And we are going to give ourselves a hug, wrapping our fingers around our shoulders and walking our fingers towards one another on our back. Taking in a breath, we're going to raise our elbows and lower our elbows. And raise our elbows and lower our elbows. Releasing our hands, we're going to now extend our arms and give ourselves a hug, crossing with the other arm on top, walking our fingers together, taking in a breath and raising our elbows and lowering our elbows, and raising our elbows and lowering our elbows. And we're going to open up our arms and shake out our shoulders. And next, we're going to raise our hands to the sky, looking up at the sky. From the hip, we're going to bend forward, reaching as far as is in your edge today, placing our hands on the mat. It's in your practice, lowering to your forearms and holding it for 3, 2, 1. Slowly walking our hands back to our legs, returning to an easy seated pose. I'm going to invite you to open up your legs, shake out your legs, and this time you're going to cross with the leg that was behind. So we're changing the front leg. And once again, we're going to swoop up to the sky. This time we're going to place our hand on our knee, place our other hand behind us, and twist towards that rear shoulder. And returning back to center, we're going to again raise our arms, looking up to the sky, lowering our hand to the knee, placing the other hand behind us, and twisting towards that rear shoulder. And returning back to center, extend your legs, placing your hands on either side of your hips. And we're going to flex our toes, pulling them back towards us. If it's in your practice, raise your ankles off the floor and lower and point your toes. And flex your toes and point your toes. And flex your toes and point your toes. And return your legs to a neutral position. You're going to pull your feet towards your hips, placing your feet together. Here's where a strap may be useful, or wrapping a towel around your feet, or grabbing your 2 feet, which are together, with your hands. You may also use your blocks to help support your knees. Keeping your back nice and long, gaze forward. We're going to hold for a count of 20. 20. 15. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Pulling our knees gently together with our hands. We're going to hug those knees to our chest. We're going to extend our legs in front of us and open them nice and wide. And we're going to, bending from the hips, fold forward, reaching for our toes or our ankles or our shins, whatever's in your practice today. Lowering our head, gaze forward. As we engage in wide angle legs, Uttanasana, Konasana. And slowly returning back to center. I'm going to invite you to place your feet on the mat and slowly make your way to your back. Knees are facing towards the sky. You're going to grab your knees, hug them to your chest, and rock side to side. Returning your knees back to the mat. I'm going to invite you to windshield wiper your knees with your arms in a cactus position. Dropping your knees together from one side to another. And when they both are on the right side, I'm going to invite you to raise your right foot and place it on your left knee. Giving ourselves a great hip stretch. And removing our right foot, knees raised to the sky, lower to the left side, and placing our left foot on our left knee, left leg on the floor. And returning our both feet to the mat, returning back to center. I'm going to invite you to extend your legs straight up to the ceiling for legs up the wall. Here's where the really great prop of the wall may also be useful. So if you would like to make your way to the wall to use it as a prop, I invite you to do so. And slowly returning our feet back to the mat. I'm going to invite you to extend your arms by your sides, reaching towards your feet, walking your feet towards your hands, extending your neck nice and long. I'm going to engage in a bridge pose. So you're going to roll your hips to the sky, resting on your shoulders. If it's in your practice, clasp your hands under your hips. If you'd like to deepen your practice, raise your right foot and returning your foot to the mat, removing your hands from your hips, rolling your hips back to the mat. Let's do the other side. Raising our hips to the sky, resting on our shoulders, neck nice and long, hands clasped under our hips. Extending your practice by raising your left leg to the sky and returning our foot back to the mat, removing our hands, slowly rolling back to the mat. Here, I'm going to invite you to roll to the right side, fetal position, taking in a breath. And slowly making your way back up to an easy seated pose. I'm going to invite you to raise your right foot, placing it on your left thigh if it's in your practice. Taking in 3 breaths. Turning your foot to the mat, raising your left foot. It's in your practice. Taking in 3 breaths. And returning your foot back to the mat. And just to make sure that we end in our resting pose, I'm going to invite you at this time to slowly make your way back down to the mat. Savasana, legs extended. And bring a little bit of movement to your fingers, your toes, hips, your shoulders. Turn to your side. and slowly make your way back up to a sitting position. And as we end this session today, I'm going to invite you to say 3 I ams with me to cement your energy and your own power. So the 3 I ams today are: I am creative, I am talented, I am loved. So I invite you to join me in saying, I am creative, I am talented, I am loved. Namaste. May the light and me see the light in you.